rahmatullah. Especially if you have children, they should be in the front. They are our future. They can benefit most from this presentation. Jazakallah khair. Jazakallah, Jazakallah. Please come closer, inshallah. Please, this side also, please come closer. Inshallah, as the brother said, my name is Abdul Hye. I am from Houston, Texas. I have many presentations, about 50 of them. They are all scientific, educational, Islamic, interfaith. I present to any place, anywhere, masjid, church, temple, anywhere, where they want to know about Allah. How about that? This is the best deal for the mankind. Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam says, "Ballighu anni walau laya." Convey from me even if it is a single verse. This is our job. And you should take our job very seriously. Inshallah. So this is about Quran and science. I have many books. As you can see, I have Quran in English, Spanish and French. This is the Quran. It's plain English. It has a lot of background information. I even supply this Quran to Pentagon. They have a lot of needs for their army, air force, navy, and they use it. Similarly, I supply a Spanish Quran to the jail. There are thousands of Muslims in the jail in USA. In the year 2040, there will be majority in USA. Fastest growing community. Spanish people think their forefathers were Muslim and they want to know Islam. In fact, in the Spanish language, there are over 5,000 words came from Arabic. And similarly, I have other books, Islamic books. And similarly, I have interfaith comparative religion books. Where do you stand? What every human should know. That's what we compare each religion and show it to the people so they can understand their religion and Islam. What are the things common between Judaism, Christianity and Islam? The second book is the bestseller. It's called What Every Woman Should Know. As you know that the media is constantly bombarding about Islam. They say that we are abusing women, the men marry 4 times, all kinds of things they say. Whereas 80% of the converts in America are women. They find the beauty of Islam and accepting in large numbers. So even this book is so important, a Muslim sister should read that book. Then you will realize how valuable Islam is. Unless you compare, you will not know how valuable Islam is. And other books also in Spanish. Similarly, I have many presentations. Some are in DVDs, CDs, very educational. I bring a set for the masjid. If you need more, you can contact us and inshallah we'll send it to you. They are highly technical, educational, compacted, so you can all benefit. I have many presentations, as you can see. Allah's universe. There are many things NASA is discovering in the outer space using Hubble telescope as we speak today, which are referenced in the Quran. How about that? Does it make any difference to your faith? Something described in the Quran 1400 years back, which NASA is finding today. This is eye-opening for us. Similarly, Quran and science, we're going to talk about it. Women's rights, and there are many of them. Each of them are very useful. Price of Paradise, Prophets of the Quran, NASA benefits, and so on. I have training programs if you are interested. If you want to be presenter like me or better, I can train you. I can give you my copies and you can present anywhere in the world. No restrictions. Comparative religion, I present to churches, universities, interfaith. You can do the same thing. Teamwork, how to build a team. Everywhere you go, there is a team. The team which are united, connected, they always win. Is it not? Whether it is a cricket team, basketball team, all kinds of team. So similarly, we have a team, how to build that team for the masjid, for the corporations. I learned from Boeing, NASA, Lockheed, how to build a better team so it can compete better in this worldly competition. Time compressor, how can you compress your time? Everybody has the same time. But you can compress your time as much as you want. Your 1 hour can be my 10 minutes. So you can do much more productive things. That is the way to do that. That's what Prophet ﷺ did. He lived only 23 years. Is it not? From the age of 40 to 63. And he accomplished so many things. And he compacted everything. His time was finished, he left. Same thing, you can do the same thing. Longevity, how can you extend your life? There are ways to do that. We can talk about it. I have programs and seminars. If you are organizing, inshallah, we'll come and do it. Effective communication. How to be a good speaker. You know, it is said that when a speaker speaks, like I am talking in front of you, only 7% is the information you are receiving through your ears. 93% has to do with how I speak, how I look, how is my pronunciation, how is my body language, and so on. It is something to be developed. You can be a very knowledgeable person, but you cannot deliver. So 93% of the information has to be trained. Similarly, Dawah workshop, these are the things I have. I train people across the country. If you can organize here in Sydney, we'll do the same thing. When it comes to Quran, you can see that we are divided into different groups. One group say, I like to memorize the Quran, become a Hafiz. And that is the focus. Another group say, I like to recite like Qari Abdul Basit. Right? It is so beautiful. They don't want to do that. And most of the non-Arabic speaking people, India, Pakistan, Bangladesh, Southeast Asia, Indonesia, Malaysia, we don't speak Arabic. Is it not? 82% of the world Muslim do not speak Arabic. So what we do? We read Surah Ikhlas, Surah Yasin for barakat, for cure. Somebody died. Other than that, we don't do anything. We just put in the shell. We count rewards, kiss it, put in the shell. We don't even know what is in the Quran. And for barakat, we do those things. And there are Islamic scholars, they know Quran, but they do not know science, or very little knowledge about science, so they cannot compare. On the other hand, when you talk about algebra, geometry, navigation, philosophy, psychology, printing, medicine, these are the discoveries of the Muslim. And when you talk about these things, we feel so great, we feel so proud that our history is so great. We achieved so many things in the history for the benefit of mankind. But what is happening today? Most of the modern scientific discoveries are being done by the non-Muslims. And the strange thing is, they are using our Quran. The same Quran we are reading, which was revealed 1400 years ago. That is the presentation. It is about 3 hours, but we're going to squeeze it into 1 hour. So many things from the Quran has been discovered by the non-Muslims. Same Quran, it is not different Quran. As a Muslim, we are on the sideline. We don't even know what is in the Quran, which was revealed 1400 years ago. Quran is a book of science. It has over 6,000 verses, more than 1,000 deal with science. Almost 20% of the Quran information is about science. So you should try to understand science, because it is the final revelation. It has many scientific information which are not found in other previously revealed holy books. Because this Quran is valid today, it will be valid tomorrow, till the last day of this world. No matter how much scientific development we have, still the Quran will be valid. So that is the reason Allah put enough information so that it is good for any time, till the last day of this world. This gentleman, Professor, he is the medical doctor from French. He used to live in Saudi Arabia during King Faisal's time. He wrote that book, The Bible, the Quran and Science. In that book, he compared all the scientific facts in the Bible and Quran. He found many mistakes in other holy books. His mission was to find mistakes. Is there any mistake in the Quran? And he could not find. At the end, he said, I could not find a single error. He tried. He's a scientist. And there is no error. Similarly, This is Professor Keith Moore. He is at the University of Toronto. His research area is embryology. How a child grows in the womb of his mother. Like we all grow up in mother's womb, right? How our cells multiply, eyes, ears, fingers. All these things gradually forms. That is the process. And he is the expert on that field. And you know what he's saying? He said, I found everything from Quran. How about that? He learned everything from Quran. And he wrote a book, Developing Human. This book it has been translated into 8 languages. This book is the textbook in medical school around the world. If you want to be a doctor, you have to know embryology. In order to learn embryology, you have to read that book. This is the textbook in medical school. In that book, he has concluded that whatever I found in the Quran, which was revealed 1400 years back in the middle of a desert to a person who could not read, who could not write, could not have come from any other source except the Creator. It is not possible, someone sitting in a desert, to write those scientific information which we discovered today. It has to be from the Creator because He knows everything. Also, this gentleman, Professor Tejasen, he is at Chiang University, Thailand, Bangkok. He is the Dean of Medical Science. His research area is pain receptors. See the pain? On our skin, this is our skin, as you can see. On our skin, we have pain receptors. Like you can only see the hair, but in between there are pain receptors, which feels pain. So if your skin is removed, you will not feel any pain. That is exactly what Allah is describing in the Quran. Surah Nisa, verse number 56. The taste of punishment, Yazukul Azab. How Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is going to punish the people of the hellfire. How? He is going to remove the skin and replace with another layer of skin with more sensitive, more painful pain receptors. So the pain is more severe. That description in the Quran, so much impressed about the scientific accuracy, that one verse of the Quran was sufficient for that scientist to accept the truth and become Muslim. He is now in Bangkok right now. So you see, we have been reading this verse for the last 1500 years, right? We could not figure out. We don't even know what Allah is saying. But he was a scientist, and he was able to understand how the pain works, and that verse was sufficient for him to understand the truth and become Muslim. So there are many, many examples. I am showing you only a few of them, that people study the Quran to discover many scientific information. This is about astronomy. As you can see, it has many, many references in the Quran. This is one place. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala mentions about the day and night, how He makes day into night, night into days. They do not happen suddenly. We don't have sudden sunrise or sudden sunset. It happens gradually. Kawara. That means the overlap. From night to day, day to night. It happens gradually. That's what Allah is describing in the Quran. Similarly, Allah mentioned about the shape of the earth, An-Naziyat. Something whose shape is not circular. The earth is not circular, it is flattened on both poles. It's called geospherical, flattened. And that is the description Allah is doing in that Quranic verse. So there are many, many references where Allah described the universe, stars, galaxies, and so many things. This is moon surface. As you know, moon has a fault line, rocky belt. And during the early days of Makkah, the non-Muslim challenged the Prophet that, okay, if you are really the Prophet, show us some miracle. Show us that you can split the moon. And as you know that he did split the moon. So people ask questions. As you know, NASA went a couple of times. They drove cars. They walked here and there. Is it the same fault where the moon was split? Unfortunately, they don't have information because they only went for a short time. But we have this information. Allah mentioned in the Quran that he did split the moon. And then when the Prophet ﷺ pointed his finger, it splitted like that. And not only that, both pieces actually came down on the top of the two mountains like that. And people around the world definitely saw this thing because there is only one moon. But in those days there was no communication. People do not know what is happening. But the people who live outside Makkah, like Medina, Taif, Tabuk, 300, 400, 500 miles away from Makkah, they actually saw this thing. And how they are described? Because they traveled to Makkah later. Makkah was the business center in those days. Everybody used to come to Makkah to buy and sell. And they gave witness, yes, we saw this thing. This really happened. Eventually, after some time, both pieces went back, and that is the moon we have today. Similarly, this is the sun, and that is the flame. It is massively burning gas. It is so massive, if you bring the earth, it will be inside the flame of the sun. Not only one earth, if you collect 45 earths, stack them vertically like tennis balls, all the 45 earths will be inside the flame of the sun. The depth of the flame is 365,000 miles. Earth is only 8,000 miles. Earth is getting smaller. This is our solar system. As you can see, each of the planet is different. Allah mentioned in the Quran, Yasin, that they do not hit each other, they do not collide with each other, they follow their own track, everyone, continuously. And we have many good examples. Each of the planet is different, they have different purpose. Allah probably has a reason to put some samples in different places. Each of them is very beautiful. You have to see Allah's universe presentation, then you will see how beautiful are these, how Allah decorated those planets. We have the Earth, and also we have the Mars. It's only 200 million miles from the Earth. NASA has a mission to Mars. Within the next 15 to 20 years, if you are alive on the Earth, you will be able to see human beings walking on the Mars. There's a lot of opportunities, a lot of benefits to go to Mars. We can talk about it. But that is the mission. We have a huge competition between NASA, China, even India. They want to go over there. Who can land human being first? That is the challenge. Who has the technological edge to land over there? Similarly, you have other planets, as you can see. So if the light travels from the sun, like that, it takes about 3 hours to cross our solar system. This is about asteroid. As you can see, asteroid, they have a belt actually. Most of the asteroid, little piece of stones are there. They actually stay in that area. But once in a while, if that piece comes down a little bit, it moves a little bit and comes down, then the earth gravity pulls it. And when it comes through the atmosphere, most of the time it is burned. Nothing reaches the earth. Sometimes you've seen the sky, something flashed, right? Very quickly entered. Most of the time they do not reach. That is one of the theory, that the dinosaurs were killed by the asteroids. We can see their bones in the museum, but we cannot find them. In fact, if you go to like Arizona, New Mexico, Utah, there are big, big holes, 30 mile, 40 mile diameter. Those are the impacts of the asteroid. So this is an example. In the year 2013, one piece survived and came and hit Soviet Union on Siberia with a speed of 20 times the speed of sound. And it is a small piece. Scientists estimate that it came with such a powerful force which is equivalent to if you explode 30 nuclear bombs. With so much energy, it will generate 30 of them. With that kind of energy, it entered into the atmosphere. Luckily, it hit in area, Siberia, where there is no population. Like that, small piece. Now, scientists estimate that if a piece is big enough, little bigger, and survives and hit the earth, what will happen? This can happen. See, that is the piece is about 150 miles in diameter. Just 100 piece survived. And if it hits a Pacific Ocean is the deepest ocean. It is deeper than the Mount Everest. If it hits, all the water of the Pacific Ocean will spill over. And the whole earth will be transformed into a ball of fire in less than a second. And it will destroy everything. All the continents, all the living creations of Allah, everything will be gone. See, all the continents are torn into pieces. And scientists estimate that it will burn for billions of years before it cool down. That is one of the theories, that the Mars was like the Earth. It is also hit by asteroids, and now it is cooled down. We can go over there. So you can see the Allah's creation. He can release a little piece of a stone and that can take care of everything. You think we are too smart? He can do it so quickly. He's saving us from those destructions. He has enormous power. So let us estimate how big is the universe, how big it is. If you keep flying, going away, going further and further, how big it is. How long is 1 billion light years? Just to give an idea, if you go around the earth, if you travel 25,000 miles. The maximum distance you can travel on the earth is 25,000 miles. If the light goes around the earth, it will travel 8 times in 1 second. 8 times, like this. It already traveled 8 times. Because it moves so fast. It travels in 1 second 186,000 miles. And this is for a minute, for an hour, for a day, for a month, for a year. If the light keeps on traveling with that high speed for a year, that is the distance it will travel. Who can count those numbers? We have a difficulty? So I'll give you easy one. How about this one? Huh? How about the easiest one? When NASA find any object, they say it is so many billion light years away from the earth. So you can see Allah's universe is so vast. It is so big. We cannot imagine. We are sitting on a tiny earth. We cannot even find the earth. So those are the distances. This is the sun, this is the earth. It spins on its own axis 24 hours a day and night. Allah mentioned about it in the Quran, many places. Similarly, earth goes around the sun like this, 365 days a year. It is happening continuously. This is about the black hole, recently discovered. Just to give an idea, black hole is something exists, but you cannot see it. Because light goes into the black hole. So Einstein, about 100 years back, in those days there was no computer. There was nothing to compute. So he was analyzing and he predicted there is a big piece sitting somewhere, very heavy, very big, very high magnetic force, which is balancing the universe. He could not prove it because nobody has seen a black hole. It was a theory. Over the years, people made a lot of research, analysis about shape, size of the black hole, but there is no proof. This is the first time in the month of April, in this year actually, 200 scientists from 60 countries, they use 8 telescopes strategically placed in 8 locations, and they were able to collect the data of the black hole, radioactive frequency. They collected over 2 years, and then they bring all the data in one place. Last one was from the South Pole. It was the biggest hard drive. It took 747 to bring those hard drives, and they collected all the data in one place, and they came up with this picture. So this is the picture of an actual black hole. It looks so beautiful, right? But you know what it is? Just to give an idea, the earth is 8,000 miles diameter, and the sun is 860,000 miles. And how big is this one? It is 25 billion miles. How big it? Like if you collect 3 million earths, we have only one earth, right? If you collect 3 million earths, put them close to each other like tennis balls, that is the size of this black hole. And how far it is? 30 million trillion miles away from the earth. This is only one black hole. There may be much bigger, there may be further away. We have no technology. We have spent 2 years just to find one. How about that? So it will take probably 10-15 years to find another one. So you can see Allah's universe is so vast, so big, He has created those kind of things. Allah mentioned in the Quran that there are 7 skies, 7 heavens. They sometimes call heavens. It is not the heaven where you are going to live. It is like layers of skies. There are 7 of them like this. We are in the first heaven. We do not know the size of the first one. Then there is second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh. One night Angel Jibreel came to Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam and said, "Ya Rasulullah, Allah want to invite you. He want to talk with you." You have to come with me. So they travel like this from Makkah. They went to Jerusalem, pray with all other prophets, and they ascended the heaven. When they came to the boundary of the seventh heaven, it has a name in the Quran. That is the name. Angel Jibril said, Ya Rasulullah, I cannot go any further. This is my limit. You have to go alone. So he traveled alone. Allah showed him all the unknowns. What will happen in the grave? What will happen in the day of judgment? What is the reward of a good deed in the heaven? What is the punishment of a bad deed in the hellfire? He was shown all those things. You think we are doing whatever we like? Allah doesn't know. He's recording everything. You cannot even escape. Everything is counted. Whether it is microscopic, very small, very tiny, good or bad, it is being counted. So Allah showed him what is the consequences in the heaven or hell. And he was sent back to the earth and he was able to describe. Similarly, this is about physics. Those who study physics, they think that they are learning something new. This gentleman, Greek scientist, he first predicted atomic theory. It has electrons, neutrons, protons, continuously moving. Modern science can even split an atom. So this, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has a reference in the Quran, Sabah verse number 3, about the atom. He knows everything, even what is inside an atom. Nothing is unknown to him. This is about geography. This gentleman first predicted water cycle. Water continuously transforms. It doesn't stay in the same place. From the rivers and ocean, it rises in the form of steam and cools down, forms cloud, and then comes down in the form of rain. That is the water cycle. It is happening continuously. You see, it continuously is happening. Allah mentioned about the rain in the Quran, like one of them is like that, Az-Zumar. There are 60 to 70 places Allah mentioned about the rain in the Quran. Why? Why Allah could not do it one time? That's what scientists comes in. They analyze those rain, that why Allah is mentioning about rain here, why here, and they discover many things. And there are references that we produce crops of different colors. Whatever you eat has to do with rain. Different colors, different vegetations, different fruits. Those are the byproducts of the rain. Similarly, there are many other places, Al-Waqia 68 to 70, Al-Yasin 34. Those are the description Allah is saying about the benefits of the rain, how we produce colors, different crops, different vegetation and benefit. This is our geology. We have mountains, many places around the earth. There is a reason for that. Allah mentioned about it, verse number 6 and 7. They act like pegs, awtar, like this. They hold on the surface of the earth, so the earth doesn't shake. This gentleman, he was the Frank Press, he was the scientific advisor to President Carter. And he wrote a book, Earth. In that book, he has described over the mountains. And he used many Quranic verses, but he did not say that. So scientists thought he discovered something new about the mountains. See, we are reading the same Quran, but he took credit. Scientists thought that he discovered something new about the mountains, what Allah has described already in the Quran. Many places. Not only that, now scientists say wherever you have mountains on the top of the earth, we have similar thing goes deep into the earth's surface, as deep as 9 times, which is holding the earth's surface. This is about oceanography. There are water in many parts of the world. Some are sweet, some are salt, and they do not mix. Allah mentioned Ar-Rahman, verse number 19 and 20. They maintain their barriers for hundreds of miles. This is another place. Why they do not mix? This gentleman, Dr. William Hay, he is the Dean of Marine Science, University of Colorado, Denver. He took all the Quranic verses and he did research on it. He is the authority of these Quranic verses. He can explain at what condition they will mix, at what condition they will not mix. He published many technical papers, many technical information. And just to give an idea, this is Mediterranean Sea, and we have Atlantic Ocean. They are connected through the Strait of Gibraltar, very narrow passage through which water goes from one side to the other side, and they do not mix. They can run up hundreds of miles like this. See, that is on the top we have the salt water, bottom is the sweet water, and they will be not joined together. So you can see this is running for hundreds of miles. Why Allah is saying these things, all these things? Is it important for you? It is beneficial for mankind to understand. That's where scientists comes in. They go through these verses, do research and discover many things about ecological development, about the terrain of water, and so many ways it can impact your life cycle around the earth. And those are the things are possible because of those information Allah put in the Quran. In the same way Allah says in the Quran, An-Nur, that the light goes into the what you call deep into the water, and when it goes darker and darker gradually. It is not uniform. That's what he's saying, layered darkness. Just to give an idea, the light falls on the water, and light has 7 colors. It has 7 colors. Each color goes up to a certain depth. Like good example, red light goes up to 45 feet, 30 to 45 feet. And if you are scuba diving, we just saw some people, right, today. So if somebody goes, say 45 feet, and then goes below 45 feet, say 50 feet, and he has a cut, and he is bleeding red blood, but he will not be able to see his red blood because there is no red light over there. The light is not there, blood is there, but you cannot see it. Each of the light goes up to a certain depth. In fact, after 3,000 feet, it is complete darkness. Even the fish cannot see itself. So that's what Allah is saying, layered darkness. Light gradually diminishes. Each light goes up to a certain depth and stops. Similarly, biology, every living thing is made with 80% water. We are living being, right? In our system, 80% is water. That's why sometimes you feel sick because you don't have enough water in your system. You are drinking too much Coca-Cola maybe. Okay, drink lot of water, gallons of water, like camels. You know camel, when it runs, it walks up to, in the desert, up to a month without drinking. And when it drinks 50 gallons of water. There's a lot of water. That's why it has a hump to store those water. So drink lot of water. That is one of the mission NASA has when they send any probe to any planet. One of the mission is to find water. If there is a water, there is a possibility of living things over there. Like good example, Mars has water. It doesn't have rivers and oceans, but it has pockets of water. So it can you can use it and benefit from it. Because carrying any extra weight is very costly. Like from Florida, Kennedy Space Center, anything they send, if you can reduce 1 pound less, you save $50,000. If you want to carry extra 1 pound, it will cost you extra $50,000. So it is very important to cut down the weight. So that is one of the mission. Allah mentioned about it in the Quran in many places, how it benefits mankind, how we are using the water. Many references, as you can see. Al-Furqan, An-Nur, he talks about the water, how it is benefiting mankind. This is our zoology. We have animals everywhere, right? We think they are just walking around in the jungles, eating and doing whatever they want. But Allah says in the Quran, they live like communities like us. They have families, they have houses, they have all kinds of residential area, they have territory, all kinds of things. And there are many descriptions in the Quran, like bird flying out and come back with full stomach. It can find its house. There is a beautiful story actually. One scientist discovered there is a bird, very small bird, less than 2 inches in size, very small. It can fly 15,000 miles in 6 months. From the Pacific, there is an island from where there it starts flying, it flies 15,000 miles and after 6 months it comes back to its original place. It never lost. When a plane flies, when it wants to land at the airport, right? It has so many iteration, calculations, computer programs, pull down the wings, pull down the wheels, and so many ways slowly it lands, right? This bird has no guidance. It is doing it every year twice without any help from mankind. So those are some of the things to learn from the creations of Allah. This is about the bees. As you can see, bees are very, very useful. This gentleman, he is a French scientist. In 1973, he did research on the behavior and communication of bees, how bees behave with each other. And he got Nobel Prize. How about that? And he used many Quranic verses. Same Quran, this is not a different Quran. How he did that? How Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala mentioning in the Quran how 100,000 bees live together. We human beings continuously fight. Look at ourselves. We are Muslim, continuously fighting with countries after countries. We cannot get along with each other. Country after country. So many things are happening. We have even different masjid. We cannot even, I do not go to this masjid, I go to this masjid. We are so much divided. We have a lot of things to learn from the bees. That's why Allah has a reason for putting the bees in it. In fact, Einstein said one thing, he could not prove it, but he said that. He said if there is no bee on the earth, suppose the bee is gone, the whole earth will collapse in 4 years. It cannot survive without the presence of the bees. So it has a lot of, their presence has made lot of impacts on the earth. And they have a lot of distribution, work distribution. They have women, male, female, and so on. They collect honey for the benefit of mankind. Many of your medicine has to do with the honey. It has antiseptic, allergic, all kinds of medicine. Use those kind of honey. Just to give an idea, every colony has one queen. You cannot have two queens. That is their system. It does lay 2,000 eggs per day. Lot of eggs, right? How many in a minute? You can count. And there are workers, they are all female. They do the house cleaning. They cook, clean, and bring food and all those things. Their number is 10 to 50,000. And they have only few males, 100 to 500. Their mission is to mate and die. The moment they mate, they have to die. They cannot live on the earth. So all the dead bees you can see on the ground are the male bees. You should be lucky that you are human. You are not bees. Otherwise your life will be gone long time. You have extra time to do other things, right? So that's how their work distribution are. And this is about the ants. Now scientists say that closest to human are the ants. And ants almost don't sleep. They continuously busy. They're continuously running. And they do so many things. So many activities. There are a lot of research going on right now that how a human being can be ants. If you are really like ants, how can you be more efficient? How can you live without sleeping? Good example. That's a perfect example. We sleep 8 hours, right, Chef? How can you minimize it? I have a program on that. How can you be more efficient like the ants, more productive? And there are many, many descriptions Allah mentioned in the Quran. This is about Sulaiman alayhi salam. He was going with his army. He heard the voice of the ants. They are alerting each other that the army of Sulaiman is going to destroy your houses, so get away from this place. Allah liked that warning so much, He put in the Quran. Ants bury their dead body like we do. They have a sophisticated system of division of laborers, managers, supervisor, foremen, workers, like we have in a plant. We think we are very disciplined. They are also disciplined. And they meet once in a while and chat. They work very hard and they say, let us have some good time. They chat. And they have advanced method of communication among themselves. They hold regular markets to exchange goods. It is so beautiful. Exchange. How many of you exchange goods? That was the habit of Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Whenever he used to receive any gift, he used to give it away to his companions. Every companion used to think that the Prophet loved me most. They were so much attached. We are so much detached. We have only our group, my language group, my country group, and so many ways we are divided. Even in the masjid. Some of the companions, they could not sleep at night. They used to go after Isha to come for Fajr, right? In the middle of the night, they used to wake up and they used to visit the Prophet. That, Ya Rasulullah, I have to see you right now. I cannot wait till Fajr. It is too long, too late. Too long waiting for me. I cannot wait that long. I have to see you right now. I feel uncomfortable. They were so much connected. Their hearts were so united. Can you be like ants? At least, if not a good Muslim, okay? This is the habit of Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. We don't see those things. We see other things. This was the reason for mankind to be united. We are supposed to unite the mankind, guide them towards Islam. We are busy with other things. We are busy with Dallin and Zollin, whether it is Sunnah or it is Faraz. So many ways we are divided. 99.99% we are united. Only 0.1% we are divided. And that is killing us. You can see that. Every society, everywhere you go, we are divided. I don't agree. Everything is okay. But I don't agree on these things. Okay, if you don't agree, just keep praying. Don't divide yourself. Especially living in this country. We are minority. We don't have the luxury to be divided. And they store their grain in winter. This is about embryology. It has a lot of things are there in the Quran. There are so many things discovered from embryology. It itself is about 12 hours at least. But I am going to share with you some of the points. This is the DNA. It is an acid. And this is the human egg. We are all born out of that egg. And every human being has approximately 100 trillion cells, as you can see. And they are organized into 23 pairs of chromosomes. That's how they are structured. There are many, many descriptions in the Quran. You can see. What does DNA means? Allah put all of your genetic information. While you are growing in the mother's womb, what will be the color of your hair, what will be the color of your eye, how height you will be, how much sickness you will have. All those things are defined into the DNA, like a data bank. And if you want to write down everything Allah put into the DNA, scientists estimate it will require 450,000 pages. Lot of informations are there. No two DNA can ever be same. Modern day criminal investigation can be traced using the DNA. These are now standard for FBI and police. They can find if you find some evidence, they can find the person's identity. In fact, they are going backwards. Somebody was convicted 25 years back, 30 years back. Now they do the DNA test, they found out this person was innocent. He was not even there. He was wrongfully convicted. So those are possible. And there are medical developments, lot of things are happening using the DNA information. The information is there. It's a matter of your technology to organize and find many things. A good example, prenatal diagnostics. Most popular one is if a mother had breast cancer, the daughter will have breast cancer. 50% of the time. Almost 50%, highest. It is possible that someone has cancer, his father had cancer, he has cancer, his son will have cancer. Before his son is born, son or daughter, it doesn't matter, whoever is born, the child can be cancer free. These are the prenatal diagnostics. You can remove those cancerous cells and the child, before the child is born, and the child will be born cancer free. It is possible because those informations are there. Similarly, stem cell research, there are many things are going on. Like I am in Houston, they pioneered the heart transplant. They pioneered the mechanical heart. All the big doctors of the world was from there. And it is possible right now, like many times people has a heart problem. That means heart is okay, whole heart is okay, valves and everything is okay. Only problem is the valve. There are two pairs of valve. The valve is leaking. It is not holding the pressure. So you are You are running with the machine. Now it is possible to make your valve outside with your DNA, and when it grows, you can implant that valve. So you'll have the same heart with a new pair of valves. So you can keep going, better pressure, better horsepower. So you can have another life. Those are possible because Allah put all the information, and it is possible to benefit from those information. And there are body cells, as you can see, there are roughly 200 body cells like this. Each of the body cell is different. Heart cell, kidney cell, liver cell, as you can see, each of them has their different functions. And they grow like that, and there is no confusion. Like a big IT department, millions of data is flowing from the DNA, and each of the cell is growing. And that is completely flawless and fully customized. And there are continuous development of your body parts. Good example, this is the heart development. It takes 40 days to make your heart. And that is the first time your heart starts pumping, right? And your mother realizes that you are inside. You are moving. That happens after 40 days. Similarly, it takes 60 days to make your face. Allah took extra 20 days more to make your face. Have any of you ever looked at the mirror and thanked Allah that, oh Allah, you gave me such a beautiful face. Nobody on the earth has one like me. Have you? Anybody? By mistake even? He took extra time for you to make your beautiful face, and you are so proud of it. How about giving some credit to him? Similarly, we have eye development. This is the eye development. Everyone has a beginning time. Every part of your body actually has a beginning time and ending time. And eventually whole body is formed, combined, heart starts pumping, and all other things starts working. That's why if you are born before your time, many things are incomplete. That is one of the reasons. And this is the blood circulatory development. All fluid, eventually there are thousands of lines through which blood flows. Scientists estimate that total length of the blood vessels are 24,000 miles, as long as the circumference of the earth. Your heart is pumping through 24,000 miles all over the body, from the head to the toe. Everywhere blood reaches. Otherwise, you will be gone. If there is a slowdown of the blood in anywhere, little bit slow, you are in the ICU, you faint. Your everything stops for you. You will be gone. So Allah makes such a complex system. Try to appreciate those things. Go to the hospital and see how people are suffering for little things. They don't have kidney problem, liver problem, all kinds of problems. You take guaranteed so many parts are working, functioning properly in your system. This is one of the things I like to share with you. As you know that there are 23 pairs of chromosomes. Mother has 23 pairs, all same, XX they call it. And the father has 22 pairs, same, XX. Only one pair is different, is XY. This Y, you can see that, this Y is responsible for the fetus to be a boy. Okay, and you can see Allah mentioned in the Quran that when two fluid mixes together, if the combination is XX, like that, it is a girl. If the combination is XY, it is a boy. And many undeveloped countries, Bangladesh, India, Africa, if a mother has two girls, what happens? Everybody starts blaming her that she cannot have a boy. She is being abused, husband wants to marry again. All kinds of violation of rights happens. Actually, she has no role, as you can see. She is the carrier. She carried the baby 9 months. She is doing the hard work. It is the husband's responsibility to deliver Y. If you cannot deliver Y, don't expect a son. How about that? Okay? So that's why misinformation and somebody is victim. If somebody has 2-3 daughters, the guy is worried. How am I going to give them marriage? I have to give dowry and this and that. On the other hand, if you go to Middle East, He became the richest man on the town. He get money. Both are wrong. But don't blame the wrong person for your fault. So let us conclude that we want to benefit from Allah. We are here in this world for a short time. How long we do not know. Very soon we have to leave, right? So before we go, what can I do? First of all, you should see all these creations of Allah. Allah created by saying kun fayakun. You should think about Allah. That's what Allah mentioned, those signs, so that when you read those things, you think about Him. We see the black hole and we wonder how beautifully scientists discovered something. How about giving some credit to the Creator who created that black hole? So this is the sign to understand Him. And He has 99 names. He can see everything, hear everything. He controls my life and death. We cannot go outside His boundary. We cannot even find, we are at His mercy every moment. So, what we should do? First of all, we should try to understand the Quran. That is the missing part among us, to the Muslims today. We are only good about counting rewards, reciting surah after Friday prayer or this and that, but we do not know the meaning. Invest yourself. Invest how to learn Quran, especially the scientific aspects of the Quran. That is missing. All the people who are the authority of the scientific aspects of the Quran, they are not Muslim. They can explain. I was in Michigan. There is a university. This is called the 6th largest university in America. University of Michigan. They offered PhD in Arabic and studies. They offer PhD from Quran and Hadith. And you know what? All the professors are not Muslim. All the students are not Muslim. So I have a friend, he was a taxi driver. He became Muslim. And his mission, okay, what can I do? Halal income. So he decided, if I am a school teacher, I can do better job. Halal income, summer off, plus, he's learning something Quran and Hadith. He went to the school. He saw on the left side, right side, front and back, everybody is not Muslim. He said, what you guys are doing? They're all, unfortunately, Jewish people. And they said, we want to understand Quran and Hadith, so we can know how to destroy it. That is their mission. Where is our Muslim brothers? We only know how to recite nicely. That's all. We do not know what is in the Quran. So invest. If you have a children, if you are too late for you, invest your children. Make them a best speaker. We want to make them doctors, engineers, dentists, high earning. How about something better than that? Make them scholars of Islam, so you can interpret the Quran. That is missing among us today. And the purpose is to obey Allah and follow His messenger, Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And Shaitan is open enemy. He is working 24/7. We don't even work 24/7. We sleep 6 to 8 hours, right? When you are sleeping, he is working. He is not going to give up. And in this world, everything is muqaddar. That means whatever you are supposed to earn, how long you are supposed to live, it will happen to you before you can leave. You cannot leave before that happens. Right? This is our taqdeer, muqaddar. But life hereafter, everything is open. How bigger paradise you want is open, no restriction. How bigger status you want from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is open. Unfortunately, we're doing the opposite things. We are busy on something which is not going to be more, right? And we are not working on something, we do the minimum for the life hereafter, where you have to live forever. So reverse your cycle. Invest more on the life hereafter, so you can be better Muslim, you can earn more rewards, and get a better paradise. Right? That should be our mission. Highest reward will be given to those people who are responsible to spread Islam. If you look at the companions of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, what they did, they went to different countries. Only few of them are in Makkah and Medina. Rest of them are different parts of the world. In China, Indonesia. 4 of them went to Indonesia. Now it is the largest Muslim country in the world. Your presence here should make an impact. If you are like another person who doesn't believe anything, then why are you here? Make your presence impacted. That is missing among us. We are on the sideline. So invest yourself. That should be your legacy. That I am here, especially living in this country. Many Islamic activity you can do in this country, you cannot even do in Muslim country. Is it not true? Like this presentation, you can do in many countries. I just came from Middle East. They don't allow you to talk even inside the masjid. You have so much freedom. So use your presence. May Allah give barakat in your life. You have a good job, good house, good car, good income. May Allah give barakat. I don't want to give up anything. But I want you to take your presence seriously. That many Islamic activity you can do in this country, you cannot even do in Muslim countries. People wants to come here. The whole world wants to come here. But you are already here. So your presence spread Islam. If Islam spreads from this masjid, it will go every part of the world. Every country is following this country. Is it not? You are here, so take your presence seriously. You are very precious. You are sitting in this country, and that should be your legacy. What you are living, when you are dying, when you are living, what you are living? Couple of $1 million, couple of houses or something, business. Leave something which benefits mankind forever. That was like Imam Bukhari. He was only 65 years old. When he was 4 and 5 years, he became blind. His father died before that. His mother was the caretaker. And she went to everywhere, doctors, experts, everybody said, no, this child will be blind for the rest of his life. But she did not give up. She asked Allah that, oh Allah, you gave him eyesight when he was born. I want you to give it back. And after 3 months, she saw in the dream Ibrahim alayhi salam. Ibrahim alayhi salam says, don't worry, your son is okay. In the morning, Imam Bukhari woke up with perfect vision. At the age of 11, he wrote his first book. And he has so much talent he was able to memorize hadith. Exceptional person on the earth came, Allah sent. And he was able to collect 600,000 hadiths. He was underground many times because scholars during his time was jealous about him. The Muslim ruler evicted him from Bukhara. He could not stay in his own place. He even took shelter with his student, Imam Muslim, in Iran for 3 years. But his mission was to collect hadith. Mission should be clear. You are living in this country, make your mission clear that my mission is to spread Islam. That is the only reason I am here. And I will do everything possible to make it happen. That should be the focus. So he collected 600,000 hadiths. A time came when he was traveling from Samarkand to Bukhara, near Samarkand, in a village, in one room, with one of his students, in the middle of darkness. Imam Bukhari passed away. The whole world did not know what he collected. They found out everything after he died. But he compiled the hadith. That hadith compilation, Sahih al-Bukhari, is so valuable. No Muslim can learn a hadith without that book, is it not? That is his legacy. That was he left. He did not have anything else. But that precious thing he delivered for the mankind. So leave something, it will benefit mankind forever. Before you close your eyes. It's too late, right? So you can do many things. Good example, I have here. I want to share with you. Good example, I am struggling over there in America, good example. This is one of the CD I developed. What it has, you can give this CD to any person, anytime, anywhere. Sometimes you have open house, non-Muslim comes, like you have here. They come or go to the university, have forum. But this one you can use it to any place, anytime, anywhere. What it has a PowerPoint presentation I have in English, Spanish, Arabic and French. I present to churches, temples, universities, anywhere. So you can copy that file and share with anybody who is asking for Islamic information. All from holy books, nobody can deny it. You know, we are not pulling one religion against the other. We are comparing what are the things common between Judaism, Christianity and Islam. If you are a good Christian, you should be a good Muslim. We follow the same God. Who sent Bible? He also sent Quran. The God who sent Torah, He also sent Quran. That's the connectivity. That's what Allah says in the Quran. Abrahamic religion. So those things are there, positive information. Because all the people outside, they only know everything bad about Islam. Everything bad. So those presentations are there, and instead of putting Quran and Hadith, I have 28 testimonials about people who became Muslim. They are famous in this society. They have a lot of name and fame, but they also became Muslim. Why? What attracted them to become Muslim? This is an hikmah. Allah says, give dawah with hikmah, right? Udu ila sabili rabbika bil hikmati maw'izatil hasanat. So same thing here. I have testimonials about 28 YouTubes, very small, 1 minute, 2 minute, about people. Like number one, she was Miss Czechoslovakia. She was Miss Czechoslovakia. She became beauty contest, world famous, marketing, all kinds of things happened. She also became Muslim later. Why? Why this lady is so much attention, but also became Muslim? So you can see her testimonials, or you can also hear in the car. If you have an MP3 player, you can hear. So those things are very useful, handy, give it away to anybody. Like good, just to give an example, that is you are born here, you are going to live here. If you are praying, if you are doing anything, everything stops. You cannot fast, you cannot pray, you cannot do anything. You are waiting for the day of judgment. Another person, he is doing the work of dawah, his reward is continuously multiplying. Even if he leaves the earth and benefit forever, the dawat level is much higher. You can see there is one over there or infinity over there. Why should you settle for $1 when Allah wants to give you $1 million? Just to give an idea. Everybody has the same potential. I have seen one guy, he used to work in New Jersey. He moved to Los Angeles. You know why? He just got 5% raise in his salary. I said, you can do that? I said, yes. It makes a difference for my income. How about million times bigger? Should you not look at it? Allah wants to give you unlimited opportunity. Why should I settle for something less? This is the potential for every one of you has it. So benefit out of it. So this is the presentation, Quran Science, Spanish, Arabic and French, and testimonials, MP3, MP4. They're all built in here. So you give it away. I already distributed like 10,000. I have a lot of good responses. If you want to catch a fish, you have to put the bait in the water. Is it not, with a hook? You may have the best brain, but if you don't have the right tool, you cannot do anything. Same thing. We have a brother in Florida. He drives Uber. So he already distributed 500. I said, how did you do that? He said, any passenger sits in my car, I have to make sure he gets this thing. And he has positive response. People call him back and want to know more about it. So this is something to connect. Somebody knows everything bad about Islam. He doesn't want to hear about Islam. He knows everything bad from the Google or whatever. But this is something independent information. He might think twice before he say anything bad. So this is one option you have. His picture is better than 1,000 words. You can share with anybody. These are the list you have. You can give it out to anybody. Church, temple, Starbucks, plane, train. I continuously fly. Anytime the person sits next to me, I just give it away. And anytime meet anybody, like my computer broke down, I went to Microsoft Office. So the guy was fixing and singing. He was just singing and fixing. Then I started talking. Do you believe in God? He said, yes, I do believe. I said, do you want to know more about your God? He said, yes. Okay, here it is. Just check it out. Can you check it out for me? Somebody gave me this thing. Can you find out what is in it and let me know? These are the hikmahs you use. Just give it somebody so that he doesn't know all these things. So this is one way you can connect the person with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And that might make a difference. Our job is to provide positive information about Islam. We are not in the business to convert anybody. If somebody accepts, alhamdulillah. But our job is to provide positive information. That should be our goal. And you can do it anywhere, anytime. So I have, where is our president? President is here. What is the other brother? Okay. So I have this Quran. I am going to leave the copy here. You can go online, finalrevelation.net. All of my books, CDs, DVDs are also available in Amazon.com. If you really want to set, you can give your number, telephone number, we can send it to you. This is Quran, and this is about the CD. As I mentioned, you can make copies. This one, it's free. Make hundreds of copies. It's disposable, 10 cents. Make copies. I did it professionally in Los Angeles, so that it's colorful. and very good quality. Similarly, I have this Quran and Science MP4. You can run anywhere in the laptop or anywhere. You can hear this whole presentation. More than that, this is about the black hole. It's very educational for the children. Show them in the school, Islamic. You have Islamic school here? Show them. They will understand better. They learn many things in this school. Why not from this Islamic school? And this is about the love of the Prophet. This is priceless. It shows the house of the Prophet and what are the things you can do. How can you be Prophet's neighbor? Who wants to be Prophet's neighbor? Huh? Anybody? Some people are sleeping even. You also want? There are good things to do. Prophet ﷺ shows with his two fingers that my heaven and this person's heaven will be side by side, no gaps. Who will be that person? You can try to get your best paradise. But no matter what paradise you go, but you can still be his neighbor. It will be connected. Even no fence, no gaps. Number one is who will raise an orphan, take care of an orphan. There are so many Muslims, orphans, refugees around the world. You can try to do that. So these are the presentations I have. I am going to leave a copy. If you need anything, if you want to write your email address, you can write and benefit from it. Jazakallah khair. Any questions? Okay, inshallah. Any questions any brother has? If no questions, I have my, inshallah, I'm going to give you set.
Thank you so
it has,
much. Thank you very much.
And it has, if you need more, these are, okay, just 1 minute. Yes. Thank you for the question. First of all, you see, from my childhood, I've been hearing the day of judgment is coming. The moon, the stars will join in the line, and that's the end of the day. It did not happen yet. So we should not be thinking like that. That's the first thing I'm asking everybody. Oh, the world is very small, we have to live very quickly, so you don't have to do anything, just count your time for the death. That is one way. Other way is that now I am a prophet of Muhammad, I am the ummah of Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. I have a greatest job on the earth. I want to finish that job before I go. Ask Allah to do that. That should be our aim. That wherever we are, we spread Islam. Even if it is a single verse. Ballighu anni alawul ayah. Even if you know one verse of the Quran, you should not sit back. This masjid should be the center for dawah. For the whole world, like the Prophet's masjid. Actually, as a Muslim, we don't need a masjid. You can pray in the parking lot, you can pray in the open field, right? As a Muslim, our masjid is for the propagation of Islam. So we want to explain to the mankind about Islam. There are a lot of misinformation. It is your job. Continuously they are misinforming. That's what I have, that effective communication. One of the things I do is I collected 50 controversial items. There are 50 controversial items. Remember this thing. The non-Muslims always attack Muslims. I have answer for all of them. I want to share with you. I want to have our imams, our community leaders, those who are running the masjid, they should know those answers. Otherwise you will be puzzled. You will be confusion yourself. You should know those answers. Those are not correct. Like they are saying in Bangladesh, they are distributing a flyer that grammatical mistakes in the Quran. Their missionaries are going village to village and showing them if it is the book of Allah, why there is a grammatical mistake. Actually, there is no mistake. You have to know the answer. In Malaysia, the Christian missionaries are printing Quran with Allah, Bible. They actually, Muslim government went to the Supreme Court and they lost. They said, no, Allah is not inclusive. Anybody can use Allah. They are using Allah in their Bible and going to the villages and saying that there is no difference between Allah and between Bible and Quran. There is no difference. You might as well read Bible. It is more updated, fresh, good binding, easy English. We have a hard time with our English. That is one of the reasons I have this English. Please look at it. There is always room for improvement. And they are doing every day. They are fooling Muslims. They are converting into other religion. By fooling, by misinformation, by lying, all these things. And you can see yourself sitting in this masjid and see damage is being done around the world. Or you can say enough is enough, I want to make a difference. I don't want to accept any more damage. My life, my energy, my resources should be invested. You are a good engineer, good doctor. Ask yourself how much of your talents are being used for the welfare of Islam. What you did for the welfare of Islam. You did a lot of good things for your medicine, for your patients, but how much it helped Muslims' cause. So please take initiative. And you have to give azan? Huh? Just a minute, I am finished. So please take initiative. Those CDs, DVDs, I'll set a copy. So inshallah, please make copies and use it. Yes?
Sometimes you come across some sort of news like that. There is a rain and it was moving from the rain and some blood, red blood, rain is full. So is it fake or there is something?
I don't know, there may be incidents like that.
Sometimes you see in the video that there are a lot of things.
In video, a lot of things are there which are not true also. So whenever you see internet, many things may not be true. Many may not be true. So you have to know the correct source. That is one important. You know, sometimes we see one thing and hype. Like good example, I heard 20 years back the guy who landed on the moon first time, right? Neil Armstrong, and he went to Cairo. He heard azan. He said, "I heard this azan in Kaaba. I mean in moon."
On the moon.
And later on, he found out it was complete fabrication. The guy was a good Christian. He recently passed away in Ohio. So it was not true. Then they say, okay, we saw the Makkah and Medina very lighted. Whole the world is dark. Have you seen that thing? You see? All kinds of things are happening, distortion, just to damage your faith. So please take charge. What Allah and His Rasul says is the truth. Jazakallah khair. If you have any question, inshallah we'll be around after Salat. And inshallah, but main thing is, the sets are there. I gave them Quran, the CDs, and DVDs. Please take time to make copies.
After the Isha prayers, inshallah. On behalf of the association, I would like to thank Dr. Abu Hye for this lecture tonight. I think it was really well worth it. Very well compiled to the verses of the Holy Quran and Hadith and the scientific evidence there. And I was amazed, and I just want to let you know that Dr. Sahib is here in Sydney for the next week. He will have the same program tomorrow at the Afghan Masjid. And then on Thursday he will do after Maghrib in Minto Masjid. It will be, the subject is Price of Paradise. He will lead Jummah in Kensington with the University of New South Wales. And Friday after Asr he'll be at Masjid Quba talking with, subject is Love of the Prophet. And 22nd, which is the Friday after Maghrib in Quakers Hill Masjid, it will also be Quran and Science. Also in St. Mary's Masjid on Saturday after 4:30 p.m, Love of the Prophet. And once again, Lakemba on same subject, which is Quran.